The thought of a fall vacation in Maine stirs up plenty of mental images. Rolling hills, fall leaves.
I never knew there was pine trees that turned yellow in the fall.
Fall colors are just one reason people come to Maine. We'll show you another. Welcome to the Country Club of Trail Riding.
You can do 300 or 400 miles without going over the same trail.
We called Jackman, Maine home for a couple of days. Population 706. Number of trails to ride.
I think it goes into the thousands in the state.
Get the idea?
Do roughly 4,000 or 5,000 miles a year on the ATVs.
One thing you'll notice right away about many of these trails, they're wide and smooth.
We share the same trails and stuff that sometimes when they're logging.
The logging industry owns many of the trails, and they work with ATV riders to share the road.
So we have access to all kinds of different riding on dirt roads and woods trails.
Here, there's a mixture of the really easy, there's some that are a little bit rough, and then there's ones that are just downright pretty tough.
Local clubs like the Border Riders help keep the trails maintained.
Well, we have roughly 270 miles of trails that the local club here takes care of, which connects to hundreds of miles of other club trails.
You got just enough stuff to keep the hardcore guys interested. I'll challenge any experienced ATV rider to come ride with me for 3 days and tell me he didn't get an awesome time riding.
Watch for the signs. They'll show you where to go and how to act. But there's no sign for this guy. This is Moose Country.
Once in a while, you'll see them come right out in front of you.
I've had moose jump out on the trail 15, 20 feet in front of me.
You never know when they're going to come out in front of you.
If you don't see a moose on the trail, you might find one next to the road in town.
Moose are a big attraction up here. People just, they stop in and they just, where can we go see some moose,
Answer? Basically, right out your back door.
Any hotel, motel, cabins, all trail accessible.
We got 300 miles of trails that you can catch right out back of the motel. You don't have to drive anywhere, just out back.
Jackman's a place to go if you like to do outdoor stuff.
Anything if you want to hunt, bike, fish, ATV, snowmobile.
In the wintertime, they call Jackman the Switzerland of Maine.
It's been a very big snowmobile community for a long time.
Long before the snowmobilers arrived, settlers lived here.
I was born here.
90-year-old Jeanette Holden's family were one of the originals. Her family arrived not long after the first home built in 1829.
It's the last caribou drive in this area, about 1900. We've hung him before, but he's so heavy he falls, so we keep him there.
A lot of the families that originally settled the town, a lot of the sons and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and that are still here today.
The town hasn't changed much over the years.
It's still the old frontier. It's a very small town with no real commercial development.
If you don't get enough of Jackman from the ground, take flight.
It's amazing what you see when you're up flying around. kind of a bush pilot, and I never fly too high, and I'm always looking down, always looking for moose, always looking for bear in the summer, any wildlife.
Up in the air or on the ground, Jackman never disappoints those who envision a dream ATV vacation.
The state up here believes in tourism, and which means they're going to be building a lot more trails as the years go on.
Well, that's it for another edition of Destination Polaris.